I would say for about the last 10 to 15 years, the main focus of Carr Machine and Tool has been 3 and 4 axis CNC vertical machining. When we decided to adapt this horizontal machining evolution of our company, I needed to find out what was the best tombstone product available. The main problem was we had this weight capacity issue. We knew we couldn't go with the cast iron because it was just eating up way too much weight. So we really talked in depth at that time about aluminum versus epoxy. We knew an aluminum AMROK tombstone would solve our problem. However, we were concerned that it wasn't rigid enough and it didn't have the dampening characteristics that we needed. I had absolutely no experience. I didn't even know that there was a product that had epoxy that could be made out of it. And my biggest concern was, how are they going to machine that epoxy and how are they going to hold squareness, perpendicularity, up 28 inches in keeping that square? So I'm happy to say that once we did get in the epoxy, Alvin had guaranteed that the squareness of that is going to be under 2/1000 over 28.5 inches high. And I have to say that we were pleasantly surprised once the tombstone came in. We threw an indicator on there and ran it all the way up, and it was 1/1000th of an inch over 28 3/4 inches. We knew we had to be efficient in our setup. We knew we needed to fixture as many pieces as we could on that tombstone and cut and keep that spindle running as much as we could. We decided that TRIAG was probably the best. We had never used a modular work holding system before, ever. All we ever knew was these old dinosaur vices, you know, slap them in, indicate them in, throw your part in, crank it down, and hit the button, right? It was all new to us, so we were pushing ourselves out of our comfort zone and trying to, you know, really hone in on some new technologies and automation. We could stack two pieces on one side of the epoxy tombstone, and then 180 degrees from that, we can stack another two. We've got 4 times that amount of efficiencies that we're going to capture in one setting. Once my shop floor employees really started to see how that worked and how multi-dynamic the TRIAG modular system, work holding system would be, we can't believe it. When we started to hear about all of this for our horizontal, we said, you know, I bet we could adapt that same modular system to our horizontal tombstone in a vertical machining center. So we thought, you know, maybe that's the next evolution for that machining technology, is putting these modular rails on a horizontal tombstone so we can really amp up the efficiencies of work holding in those machines. So far we've had the AMROK Tombstone Epoxy and the TRIAG holding system in place now for about 5 weeks, and we've had some really good successes so far.